Publishing staff threaten to quit unless JK Rowling's new book is cancelled. Left-wing extremists protest author's assertion that there are only two genders. Staff at publishing house Hachette have threatened to quit unless the company cancels its association with JK Rowling and scraps plans to publish her new book because they argue the author is transphobic. JK Rowling recently tweeted, "If sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. The idea that women like me, who've been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, to male violence, hate trans people because they think sex is real and has lived consequences, is a nonsense. I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so." Publishing staff threaten to quit unless JK Rowling's new book is cancelled. Staff at publishing house Hachette have threatened to quit unless the company cancels its association with JK Rowling and scraps plans to publish her new book because they argue the author is transphobic. The Daily Mail reported that staff in the children's department at Hachette announced they were no longer prepared to work on the book over Rowling's recent assertions that biological sex is real and that there are only two genders. These staff are all very woke, mainly in their 20s and early 30s, and apparently it is an issue they feel very strongly about. The report adds. According to an insider, it was a handful of staff, and they are entitled to their views. If they were being asked to edit a book on domestic abuse, and they were a survivor of domestic abuse, of course they would never be forced to work on it. But this is a children's fairy tale. It is not the end of the world. They will all be having chats with their managers.